Welcome to Out Loud with Aaron Simpson. I am your host, and let's get straight into it. People pleasing doesn't just mean playing nice. I'm not even going to bother with the intro. I'm not going to bother with theme music. We're getting straight into the discussion. I'm going to take these glasses off. People pleasing is not just about being nice. It's not just about saying yes. People pleasing is not just about getting in everyone's good graces and walking on eggshells and making sure everything is okay. What people pleasing truly is self-sabotage. That's what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. And if you're listening to this, you can't see me take my glasses on and put them back on and off. I'm doing a lot of dramatic things here, but I really want you to get this concept. People pleasing is self-sabotage. That's what it is. You are saying yes to everything and everyone else, which means you have to start saying no to yourself. That's what people pleasing is. It is the art of the constant saying no to yourself when you are saying yes to everything else. If you want 2026 to be the best year of your life, if you want to change your life, you want to transform your life, you have got to start saying yes to you and no to others. It is okay to be selfish. I'm telling you this because I'll be 39 in 7 days. It is April the 10th. My birthday is April the 17th. I will be 39 years old. I am entering the very last year of my 30s, and I made a promise to myself that I'm not going to spend the last year of my 30s how I spent pretty much all of my 30s and all of my life. Growing up biracial, white father, black mother, 3 white brothers, 2 black brothers. I am the youngest by a significant margin. My oldest brother is 15 years older than me. The brother that was closest to my age is 5 years older. He passed away in 2007. He was my best friend. I was an uncle at 5 years old. All boys. There was the testosterone, the aggression, don't cry, the whole thing, right? And growing up in a blended family, just to kind of give you some context to why I struggle with it, I believe the source of it for me was because I was the only child that was living in the house at all times. By the time I was 5 years old, I had a nephew. I had a brother that was just in and out of trouble. And then my other brothers on my father's side, they stayed with their mom. So I loved my brothers with all of my heart and soul. And I craved attention as a kid because seeing your brothers coming in and out, they're cool, they're driving nice cars or they're wearing nice clothes, they're playing sports at a high level, they're popular, they're varsity lettermen back then when varsity jackets were everything. Now I just feel like kids really don't even care. But like back when I was growing up, a varsity jacket was the coolest thing and a graduation ring were the dopest. And I wanted to be like my brothers. The problem was I'm the only one that looked like me, that sounded like me, talked like me, walked like me, acted like me. There was a lot of confusion as a youth. Am I black? Am I white? Am I both? What does that mean? Am I black enough for the black kids? Am I white enough for the white kids? Am I black enough for my black side of my family? Am I white enough for the white side? I grew up with this conditioning by me that I had to maneuver with the crowd that I was in, right? And because I loved my brother so much and because they didn't live with me, I internalized them coming in and out that I wasn't worthy of time, love, and attention. And so I would say the things to not cause any conflict and to not cause any drama because I was afraid of people leaving me. And so keeping that idea all the way to my teenage years, my young adult years, and in my 30s, I conditioned myself to silence me, the real me, so I could be accepted. And when you do that, you start saying yes to things that you truly don't want to do, but you're saying yes because that makes everyone else okay. And you start saying no to yourself and the desires in your heart and what you really feel you want to do. And all of your energy is going to people, places, and things that kind of pour into, but they kind of don't, but more into things that drain you. And you don't have any energy for the things that you really want to do with your life. And I've done a lot of things, to quote one of my best friends, Kyle, Ace, you lived a lot of lives. I've done a lot of great things. I've pursued professional sports, played high level college basketball. I moved to New York, was a fitness model and an actor, moved to California on a dream, slept on a couch for 2 years, started a fitness company, was all over California doing my thing. COVID happened, shut it down. Social media blows up. I'm speaking all over the country on stages and a lot of different things going on here. But that entire time while I'm doing that, I'm still not being fully myself. I grew a social media platform of over 1 million followers without trying, meaning my intention wasn't to grow on social media. It organically happened. And I did that in 2 years. July 2nd, 2022 was my first video ever posted on TikTok. A month later, a video goes viral and I'm getting 2,000 followers a day. 2,000 followers a day. I got videos. I think we did the analytics like a year ago. All the numbers from my social media, from Instagram and TikTok, were over 500 million views. Over 500 million total views. Just me and a phone. No crazy edits, no nothing, right? Now, I'm doing all of this while not fully being me. I'm being a part of me. I'm not lying. I'm not being fake, but I'm also not delivering the messages. I'm not really fully speaking from me. 3 years ago, I hit a wall, just like some of you maybe are going through right now, or maybe you can relate to. I was the heaviest I've ever been, 280 pounds. I'm spiritually drained, mentally drained, emotionally drained. I'm just not in a good place, right? I'm drinking alcohol. I'm just not really in a good place. I ended up making a decision to move back to Michigan for 2 years. I didn't know it was going to be for 2 years, but it ended up being 2 years. And I really had to rehabilitate myself from the ground up, dog. From the ground up, inside out. I had to really know God at this point. And what we discovered together was, bro, you are living your life for everyone else but me and but you. Now, you can do that if you want, and I'm still going to bless you, and I'm still going to love you. You are my son, and nothing can change that. But the real question is, will you be okay with you? And the answer was no. And so at that point, the fall, winter of 2023, I decided it was time to go all in on myself physically. So I prioritized my health and wellness. And, now, April 10th, 2026, I'm in the best shape of my life at 39 years old. And I've lost almost 90 pounds in 3 years. Kept it off. I moved back to California 10 months ago, reintegrated myself back in the field that broke me 3 years ago. And I'm doing it at a higher level now. Now I'm an executive coach. So I work with founders and CEOs of 7 and 8-figure companies and help them break through identity shifting and get out of their way, because when you're dealing with people of that caliber, they really don't have anybody to go to. Everyone's coming to them. And so I related to them because I was the person that act like everything was okay in front of everybody. But as soon as I come home and I shut the door, I am broken, bro. And I'm back in my fitness bag and I'm training. I'm very selective with who I work with now. I'm not just training anyone, but I'm back in the fitness bag a little bit too. So, but I say all that to say, the person that I am now is nowhere near the person I was 3 years ago, but there's still a lot of residue there that I work with every single day. Because people pleasing is not about saying yes and being nice and being kind. Just because you're nice and kind, that doesn't mean you're a people pleaser. Just because you're respectful, that doesn't make you a people pleaser. What makes you a people pleaser is when you self-sabotage and you prioritize everyone else over you. When you're saying yes to everyone and no to you. Because please believe, when you say yes to something, that means something else has to be told no. And I work with a lot of clients and founders who are mothers and fathers. And one of the hardest things it is for people in that position to do is to put their kids behind them. What do I mean? Many people believe that their kids should come first, and that's not true. You come first, your spouse, then your kids. God, you, spouse, children. That's the order. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be in seasons, of course, where you have to sacrifice and your kids need you. I'm not saying neglect them, but what I am saying is your kids are going to get more out of you when you take care of yourself and you're able to parent from a place of overflow. Same thing with your relationship. Your partner is going to get a better version of you when you're able to be in a relationship through overflow because you are giving you what you need. It doesn't mean it's going to be equal every season. Life is not about balance. It's about understanding what season you're in and be able to adjust as you go, right? That's what makes a lifestyle sustainable. So when you're struggling with your workouts, when you're struggling with your diet, it's probably because it's not a lifestyle. It needs conditions to be perfect in order to be effective. But a true lifestyle should be adaptable. So when life changes, when shit changes, it can maneuver with the times, right? You bend, but it doesn't break. And when you're a people pleaser, you no longer bend, you're breaking. And then you're no longer breaking, you're broken. And so if you're listening to this or you're watching this right now, this is not a coincidence, my friend. This is an assignment. This is a call to action. You cannot go on anymore being this version of yourself where you are putting yourself on the back burner and you're saying yes to everything else like that. I'm talking even your kids. There should be moments when you say no to your kids. You're like, no, me and mama going on a date. No, not right now. I'm going to get this workout in for 45 minutes and then we can go. There's going to be times when you got to tell your partner, baby, listen, I know you want to go on a date. We're going to go, but let me get this run in real quick. And then we're going to, because I need to be able to, so I can. Some of you got family members. You may be watching this. You got a family member right now that's just right here in your medulla oblongata. You know, you got the face right there. You're like, Ace, I know exactly who you're talking about. Every time they text or call, they're not checking up on you. They're not asking you how you doing. They're needing something. As soon as you see their name pop up, you're like, what they want now? What they want? Like your nervous system just gets shot because you've conditioned it and you've allowed that dynamic to be based on you always giving and you never receiving. You've trained them to treat you that way. We teach people how to treat us because they watch how we treat ourselves. People know what they can get away with. You want to know how someone in your life is truly for you? Watch what happens when you tell them no. Watch. What do they do? Are they asking for an explanation why? Do they get upset? Do they get angry? Do they get passive aggressive? Watch what they do when you tell them no. If they need an explanation for why you said no about their ask, that's a red flag, my friend. Because here's the thing, they didn't need an explanation when you told them yes. So why do they need an explanation when you tell them no? I know you listen to this like, damn, Ace, why you coming at me like that, dog? I didn't need all that. I'm telling you, bro, my whole life, for the most part, has been that. My nervous system was shot. I have a Whoop band. Oh, it's on this side. I got Christ over here, Whoop band here. I've had it for 6 years. I got it this month in 2020. So like right in the beginning of COVID. And when I first got it, my HRV and my resting heart rate was terrible. Now, mind you, a lot of that was because I was unhealthy physically. I was 250 plus, My HRV was like in the teens and the 20s, and my resting heart rate was in the high 60s, low 70s. When I got healthy 3 years ago, When I prioritized what I needed for me, when I started saying yes to me and limited my yes to others, okay, I wasn't just cold hearted. I wasn't saying, fuck you. I wasn't going crazy, but I was being more selfish with my time for me because I wanted to get to a place where I can say yes from a place of overflow when I wasn't regretting it. When I got healthier physically and I was able to give myself what I needed spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, my sleep got way better. My HRV went from the 20s to the 60s and the 70s. Now, mind you, being at that time 30, let's say 3 years ago, I was 36. So like in the 36 to 38 range, like being my age with my activity, a 20 HRV is like senior citizen level. That's how bad it was. I had the HRV, the heart rate variability of a senior citizen. But I've been sober for over 2 years. I'm never going back. That's another piece to this puzzle as well. But my sleep has gotten better. The quality of my sleep, my HRV has gone way up. My resting heart rate has come down to the 40s. My energy is through the roof. I don't take naps nearly as much as I used to, if ever. Sometimes I just take a nap because I just want to take a nap, but never from a place of I'm just tired and exhausted. I was always living from a place of depletion. And this is the thing I want you to catch. When you're a people pleaser, okay, you have functioned so much in chaos that chaos feels normal and peace actually feels like chaos. I'm going to say that again. When you are a people pleaser, what you don't realize is chaos actually feels like peace and peace feels like chaos. Here's how I know this. When nothing is going wrong, when everything is smooth, you don't know how to act. It's almost like when you see someone that's in a toxic relationship and they finally cut that person off and now there's no more drama, they're like, let me text them, right? It's like they're so used to peace being friction that when there's no friction, it feels like it's not normal. That's what happens when you're a people pleaser. Having peace in your life, saying no to people and saying yes to you feels wrong. It feels wrong. Think about how crazy that is. It's crazy when you tell yourself no. It's crazy to think that when you say yes to you, that feels wrong. That shows you how long you've been living in chaos. So this podcast, you're watching this on YouTube, you're listening to this on the podcast out loud. It's not even like a rebrand. This is like, we're just upgrading. This is about living your life out loud. And this ain't about being boisterous and being obnoxious and being loud for no reason. I'm not saying scream. What I'm saying is giving yourself permission to be you in your health, in your business, in your relationships, in your life, in your weirdness, in your hobbies. This is about living your life out loud. No longer silencing who you really are. No longer silencing your hobbies. No longer silencing like the truest you. I was on a masterclass call today, and the guy that said, his name is Omar Takori, and he said something that really stood out. Matter of fact, I wrote it down here. And he said something that really stood out to me. And he said, whatever disqualifies you in your mind is actually the thing that distinguishes you in the marketplace. Whatever disqualifies you in your mind is actually the thing that distinguishes you in the marketplace. Now, what he was referring to is oftentimes when we're stepping into our uniqueness, right? So maybe there's a dream in your heart. There's something you want to do. There's a book you want to read, a YouTube channel, a podcast. You want to go back to school. You want to start a business. You want to get in shape, whatever the hell the thing is, right? There's something that's burning deep in your heart. As crazy as it sounds to you, you will always give yourself reasons why you shouldn't do it, right? So when I wanted to do this YouTube channel or restart this podcast, I wanted to do it in a way that was truly me. All right. My personal testimony to that was a part of me felt that because the large base of my audience is Christian based, faith based on the content that I've been making for 5 years, I felt that the kind of content that I was going to be talking about in the way I was going to talk about it was not going to be well liked by that audience, right? Because I felt like although the content that I was making was very authentic, right? I was still packaging it in a way that I felt everyone would like it. I didn't feel like I was taking a stand. I didn't feel like I was really showing who I really was. Now, I am more of a believer than ever. I am still a Christian. I'm a Jesus man through and through. My relationship with him, I'm actually in the process right now of reading scripture and I'm going back to Genesis and I'm reading to not just understand, but I am reading through disciplines. This is not to justify anything. Where I'm getting at is I was in church not that long ago and the pastor said something that really stuck out to me. He said, "The world doesn't need your preaching, it needs your living." And I was so consumed and concerned with me talking about God that I overlooked the importance of documenting how I'm living to show you how God's moving in my life. Everything that I've done before this day has brought me to this point. This is a new checkpoint. And I believe my voice, my message, my story, my experiences, my expertise, just my perspective can help a lot of people. But me silencing it to make it more digestible. Now, I'm never going to be disrespectful, but I just want it. I want to be able to talk to you as if I was talking to my friends at home. I really felt like for a long period of time, I was being very performative, if I could be honest. I was pandering a little bit. I was real, but I was still like, when you're doing prayer videos and this is the fifth take of a prayer, that's performative, bro. When you're trying to get a prayer right so you can put it out there so it can get views, like I'm caring too much about what people think. And so it's time for me to break the chains and I want to help you do the same. So that's what Out Loud is about. And I want to start this rebrand, this anew, this checkpoint, this new chapter, which started with people pleasing because that was the biggest chain that I had to break. And it's the freshest chain. So wherever you are in your life right now on your journey, I'm telling you right now, where you want to go, you are going to have to strip the chain of people pleasing because if not, the higher the level you go, the more people are going to be distraction. The higher you separate yourself, not because you're better than, but because you're different than the familiar, the people that knew you from day one, your family, the more those voices are going to get offended and they're going to get offensive because when you are making decisions that's taking you to another level, oftentimes you are going to mirror what other people are unwilling to do in their lives and they don't like that. And so if you care so much about making them happy, you may get to a place where you start to lessen your calling to keep them comfortable. But my, oh my, have you showed up right on time because your boy is not going to let that happen to you, boy. It's not going to happen, not on my watch. So welcome to this new checkpoint. Welcome to this new chapter. I'm happy to have you. I love you so much. If this is your first time listening, listen, follow the podcast wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple, we're in all those places. Share this with a friend. Follow us on YouTube at Aaron Simpson TV. That's where you're going to see all the videos. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. it's about to get real. We're going to have a good time. We're going to bless a lot of people. But more importantly, we're going to start living our life out loud. I love you so much. Be safe, be blessed. Until next time, let's get it.